Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And folks, last week, she made her premiere in 2023 after several months on hiatus, and you've asked for her back, and here she is. And that is, of course, our Places Insider, Krista Stucchio of @#foodpick. It is great to see you again.
You too, Peter, as always.
Exactly. Now, last week, we kind of left the audience what we call with a cliffhanger. You know, I don't know why I had to do this with my hand, but I just did it. Okay. Yeah. We basically spoke briefly, like 30 seconds, about restaurants in and outside of Hoboken that you would like to try. So we're going to get in depth now about this. Yeah. Talk to me.
Oh boy, where do I start? Okay, so I think I want to start with Ghost Truck Kitchen.
Ghost Truck Kitchen? Is
Ghost Truck Kitchen. So shortened to GTK.
GTK.
They are in Jersey City, but they're opening in Hoboken. So this is not a place I have not tried. I've had his food, trust me, it's amazing. But it's new to Hoboken, so I feel like we gotta talk about this.
What type of food?
So the whole concept is kind of like food that you would get out of a food truck.
Okay.
So the location in Jersey City has, the space is most of it's a kitchen. Like they just have a ton of space to pump out their catering and, delivery and pickup. And it's a very small area where you can come and pick up the food. So we're excited to have that in Hoboken because listen to the food, listen to the options that we've got, okay? First of all, the mac and cheese, okay? If you're a mac and cheese fan, there are multiple types of mac and cheese that you can get.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna start with that. But then you have the wings. And these wings are smoked and grilled. So they're
something you can't really get in a food truck.
No, you're
right.
But
it's more like comfort food in my.
Oh yeah, it's
right?
like, but it's elevated. Like everything's made with quality ingredients, and I love myself a wing, and I just feel better when I'm eating these because they're grilled wings, and the flavor is unreal. I mean, the options that they have. One of my favorites is honey mustard, which I know is not really that common with a wing.
Well, if you can have it with a chicken finger, you can have it with a
exactly,
buffalo.
Exactly.
Chicken, right?
See, exactly. Yeah. But we got honey mustard, we got jerk, we got sticky barbecue. That's all that's coming to me right now. But there's a lot. There's a lot. So mac and cheese, we got chicken wings. We've got amazing Caesar salads, burritos, sandwiches, bowls. Vegan bowls and vegetarian bowls. So it really just caters to everyone.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. And GTK coming soon to HBKN. Boom. Short for Hoboken. Okay. Yeah. Should we go to commercial right now?
Yeah, commercial now. Commercial
maybe
now.
we should. Anyway, moving on. So you said before the segment started that you had 3 or 4 different spots.
I've got a lot. Yeah. Right. So the next one I want to talk about is Brooklyn Dumpling Shop. So
right
both of these,
Street.
yes, and also I did forget to mention Ghost Truck Kitchen, also on Washington Street, coming. Okay. More uptown, kind of near Toasty and
kind of near the best Italian deli in the city of Hoboken. I'm Pete Biancamano.
Yeah.
Amen.
You're right.
Exactly. Brooklyn Dumpling Shop is a little closer to, believe it or not, where a resident political analyst, Josh, lives. So just,
Well, Josh is going to love this.
Stay away from the vicinity. Just go right into Brooklyn Dumpling Shop.
I know Josh is going to love this because Brooklyn Dumpling Shop requires no human interaction.
That is 100% correct. That is fantastic.
I am totally blanking on what the name of this is.
So when you say
automat, is that the word?
Oh, so you order on a screen?
Yes.
And all
so
that?
This is a thing that was in the early 1900s. Apparently, I don't know why they ever went away, but they're back. You order for pickup. Or you can order in store on the screen, and it literally you get assigned a locker, and your food just comes out of this locker.
No way.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah. So it's you're not even talking to a human. You're just going in there, you're grabbing your food, and that's that.
Well, we like talking. I mean, but
yeah. This
not
is
every
these
day.
are for the days, you're just not feeling it. So
exactly.
Or you're in a rush and you're just I'm gonna order and I'm gonna pick it up out of the locker, and that's that.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Next place?
Oh my gosh, Toastique.
Not to be confused with Toasty.
I
which
love
Krista
Toasty.
has spoke about on the show before on 10th
love
and
Toasty
Washington.
so much.
Big fan over here as well.
Yeah,
too,
so Toastique. I'd actually gone there in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. That's the only time I've been there. I had this incredible breakfast toast, and they've got a bunch of other things like juices and smoothies and all that good stuff. So
I mean, when you need to just have a cleanse after eating so bad over the weekend,
some good
that
fresh
seems
stuff.
like
Yeah.
Toastique is the place to go to. Toastique.
Toastique.
Tosti.
It's very fancy.
I could tell.
Yeah.
It's like, Toastique.
Yeah. That's also uptown.
Uptown.
We're uptown.
Yeah.
Super far uptown, I think. So.
All right, we're getting these places uptown. Where our studio
Yeah.
is.
So I'm excited to go into the Hoboken location.
Exactly. Is there any place else, maybe outside of Hoboken, that you're looking forward to?
Oh, you're throwing me for a loop now. I have one more in Hoboken.
Okay, one more.
And that I do want to bring up because it's Italian, so I know you're going to have things to say.
Of course. Let's go.
So Cafe Buon Gusto.
Oh, that's...
Also on Washington.
That is on Washington Street.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what was there before. I forgot.
And
that's a little more downtown.
Oh, it's kind of in the middle. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a little bit more downtown, I want to say. But they were supposed to open in 2020.
Yeah, and then the pandemic
So that's why I'm like, I really don't remember what else was there because it's been so long that it's been like closed down. But
sad. Took that long. Yeah.
Never been there. They're very popular in the city. I think it's what's their famous linguine, some kind of pasta with vodka sauce, which I love vodka sauce, and fresh mutts, like chunks.
Wow.
Chunks.
Cafe Buon Gusto.
Yeah.
I love it.
So,
I absolutely love it. And a lot of times, are those places BYOB places or?
I think that one is BYO actually.
Interesting.
I'm assuming Brooklyn Dumpling Shop probably not so much.
Exactly. Well, unless you want to drink it in the locker. That you're getting your food at.
Throw a cup in the locker.
You know what's interesting? It's interesting you bring up an Italian restaurant because Trattoria Saporito, which I believe is on 3rd or 4th in Washington, closed down recently.
Yes.
And we're starting to get limited on Italian restaurants. I'm sure you heard of Dom's Bakery closing, right? And there's no places in Hoboken where you can get a loaf of bread anymore.
It's pretty crazy. It really is. I mean, that, and it's like, I'm glad we've got, that's another one. We've got the seafood spot coming in.
That's right. Just the same
the
owner
owners
as
of
Stingray. That's right. Good
Very
people.
pumped for that because I'm like, we don't have a butcher.
Right.
We don't have the fresh seafood, and we don't have the fresh bread.
And we don't have the fresh bread.
I'm really sad about it. Like, where's Hoboken's charm going? I know you must be sad about it. Born and raised.
Without a doubt. And look, there are 5 Italian delis left. It's kind of like the last 5 standing.
Yep.
When I was younger, which wasn't too long ago, folks, there was probably double that amount.
Yeah.
So, and people say all the time, is there like a rivalry going on? And we're like, no, we all love each other.
I love that. I love that.
I mean, we really, really do. We all get together for the Mutz Fest every year. And doing things for charity. I'm sorry. Was there another place that you wanted to bring up?
No, but I did.
Yeah,
I wanted to talk more about Dom's because I have some of their bread in my freezer right now. Did you snag some?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
I will be very interested to see what goes there.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Because the whole building was sold. He owned it.
Yes.
Over $2 million or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, just another Hoboken staple. I hope that whoever fills those shoes is,
fills the niche in a way. You
Yeah.
know? It's almost like our friends at Alfalfa, which, by the way, they're opening up a second location.
They are way downtown.
Yeah, way downtown.
Yeah.
They went into the old Schnackenbergs, which is this luncheonette from 1931.
Yep.
And they kept a lot of its charm in there.
Yeah.
In there. So, so whoever goes into Dom's, keep the charm.
Yes, keep the charm, please. We can't lose any more charm.
Exactly. All right. Well, Krista Stucchio of @#FoodPick. It's so good to see you again.
Thanks for having me
And I think you're going to be back very, very soon.
I am.
I have seen my crystal ball saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. Really, really appreciate it. All right, folks. We will be right back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching The Pulse with Peter B. and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com.
Welcome back. I'm your host with the most, Josh Sotomayor Einstein, and I'm so happy to be here with you in TV land and on the internet, and with my good friend Herminio Mendoza. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Not only are you the president of the Hispanic Republicans of North Jersey, but you're also a business owner, a small business owner, an entrepreneur.
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm located in Hoboken. I'm in Bayonne, New Jersey, 16A 49th Street.
And the name of your business is Hermy Signs and Awning, right?
Yes, sir. Hermy Signs and Awning.
Well, we have a lot to talk about, both with the Hispanic Republicans of North Jersey, events that have been going on, and your small business, which sounds absolutely amazing. I know I get my signs from there and my awnings. But first, don't you have an event coming up with the Hispanic Republicans of North Jersey?
Yes, sir. Yes, yeah. It's going to be this March 27 at 6 p.m. at the Long Shop Rifle, Secaucus, New Jersey.
Oh, that sounds really cool. We'll put that up there for anybody that's interested. Now, from what I saw, it's a Lincoln dinner honoring the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln. And there's going to be great speakers like Bill Spadia, whose name I usually get wrong, but I think I pronounced it right this time. You can tell me.
Yes.
And other speakers as well. It's going to have wonderful, wonderful food. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, delicious food and, like as you say, good guesses, speakers.
Oh, yeah, and I know you're going to be one of the speakers. I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Yes, sir, yes.
But we were talking before, and you told me about a disturbing event that happened when you were shopping on the west side of Jersey City last week.
Yes, last Sunday I went to shop and pick up my brother at Marshall's and Hustle Mall in Jersey City. And when I was going inside the store, I saw three men running out of the store. One a big plastic bag, another with a shopping cart, another one have a whole bunch of clothes in his hand. They run away, and that was very ugly scene.
So they were robbing the place.
Yes.
They were just putting stuff in carts and bags and just walking out without paying.
Yeah, exactly. And when I saw that, I went inside the store and I spoke to one of the managers of the store, and the answer that they gave me, oh, we have cameras and, we okay.
So they didn't want to call the police. They didn't want you to call the police. What happened there?
Yeah, they don't want to call the police. They say that we are on our own.
So that is not a good thing. I mean, to me, would you say, as a long-term resident of Hudson County that's been here for decades, would you say that, simple crime like that, not that it's simple, but, basic stuff like that is on the increase?
Yes, I've been seeing it going to increase like 1,000%, and I don't see like the political official, the police officer, the mayors, they're not doing their job.
Yeah, so it reminds me in Hoboken recently, both the Starbucks on Washington Street, the Avenue, as it's lovingly called by those who are born and raised and people that like the local culture, and also the Panera recently got rid of their seating because there were too many people coming in, just camping out and being a disturbance, as well as allegedly people were shooting up and leaving their needles in the bathrooms.
I mean, crime doesn't matter how big is the crime, you have to be punished. That's why we have the law. That's why you go to the federal government page, and they're gonna see like a 1-800 tip, 1-800 this. So that means the police have to enforce the law.
Well, it's also a quality of life issue because, I don't begrudge anybody any hard times in their life. Everybody's lives has ups and downs, and I'm not impugning, the homeless, but I do think there are homeless, and I do think that there are bums. And whether you're homeless or not, if you're stealing from a store without paying and it's not for food, or if you're going into a public establishment and you're causing a fight, which is the reasons that Starbucks and Panera took out their seats, then you're a bum in my book. And we need to have enforcement so that places can protect themselves instead of sweeping crime, under the rug, so that the stats don't show, there's been an increase in crime. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, yeah, definitely. And the community have to get involved. And we as a community people, human, we need to get involved in the community. That's how you can fix more of those problems. Maybe the police, the local leader.
Sorry to cut you off. We have to go to commercial break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Hudson River Care and Counseling. Hello, I'm Dr. Pam Pater-Ennis, the CEO and founder of Hudson River Care and Counseling with over 30 years of clinical social work experience and therapy. We are a progressive counseling and coaching practice with a diverse team that brings a holistic approach to clients. We offer support, both in person and through digital platforms such as telehealth. Consider us a safe haven that you can trust with care for your mental health needs. Visit our website to set up a consultation today.
I'm so glad you stuck with us during this commercial break, and I'm so happy to still be joined by Herminio Mendoza, president of the Hispanic Republicans of North Jersey, longtime Hudson County resident and entrepreneur, owner of Hermi Signs and Awnings, where I get all my signs and a couple of my awnings, actually. Really good stuff. So you were talking about how, we need to get involved. Maybe we need to have some sort of guardian angels or a night watch thing where people, who see crime actually report it instead of trying to pretend it doesn't exist.
Exactly. Yes. We need to do something about it. We cannot stay sitting home waiting for the law enforcement, the police, or whatever they, doing their job. We need to put our part too.
I mean, I definitely think we need the law enforcement to feel that they can do their job, and we need to facilitate. We need to call them and put pressure on our political leaders so that our law enforcement doesn't feel like their hands are tied. I remember one time I was at a meeting with a representative of the county jail, and everybody else in the room was a liberal and a Democrat. And the meeting was, it's Hudson County, so it's no surprise, and it was Hoboken in particular. And the people weren't asking about what sort of programs that they have to help rehabilitate, people that have been put in the county jail. They were asking, do they have organic food? And it's like, these are our priorities, and they're out of whack because we're all involved in, we can't report crime. And, our first priority has to be, taking care of the people that broke the law, according to the bougie standards that make no sense, as opposed to the quality of life issues that impact everybody, especially working class people,
Yes.
And make Hudson County less affordable and less desirable for them and for everybody, honestly. So.
Exactly. Yeah. We need to support our police, the law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. Now, so I know that's going to be a theme of the dinner, the Lincoln dinner.
Yes.
I know the keynote speaker, Bill Spadia. He has 1.5 million radio listeners that tune in to hear him talk about common sense solutions like we're talking about.
Yes. He got a lot of followers.
Yeah, so that'll be very exciting. But tell us about the Hispanic Republicans of North Jersey. When did you start the organization, and what was the reason you started it?
One of the reasons that I started the Hispanic Republican was that, I used to go to a meeting with the Hudson County Republican, and I, from like about 15 years, going to different meetings, and I don't saw that they was growing up as a group, as a community. And I decided with another friend to create a group to attract more the Latino people, because I never saw a Latino except me, Mrs. Adela Rojena. We always used to go to a meeting, and so that's why we created a Hispanic Republican.
Oh, very, very cool. And I know I've gone to some of your events, even though I'm marginally Hispanic, and yo no hablo español. Mi madre habla español. And tell us about how long have you had Hermi Signs and Awning, and what was the genesis? What was the beginning of that, your business?
The beginning, I started 10 years ago. I was located on Community Avenue in Jersey City, and then the past 3 years, I've been in Bayonne, New Jersey right now.
Oh, very, very cool. So, is there anything you'd like to say? We got one more minute to say to the viewers out there in TV land and on the internets.
About my business, please call me at 201-234-7510, or also you can go on Facebook and find Hermi Signs and Awning. I have the best prices and the best quality awnings and signage in general.
And if you're a Republican out there who's listening, we'll put up the information for that Lincoln dinner. Herminio, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Sotomayor.
Really a pleasure.
Mi amigo, gracias.
My pleasure. Empanada. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there. Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. Peter Biancamano back in the host chair, and it's look look so much better than it did last segment when Josh Sotomayor Einstein was here. But we do want to thank Mr. Herminio Mendoza for gracing us with his presence on this show. And the person to my right is back by popular demand because the audience always wants us to grace us with his presence. And that is, of course, our sports insider, Mr. Joey Jarzynka. Welcome back, buddy.
Peter, thank you so much for having me.
Exactly. Now, we kind of gave the audience a little bit of a tease last time. We basically said, look, you know, Joey, whenever you want to come back for baseball, you can come back for baseball. And then the emails rolled in. They were like, you need to talk about baseball because, of course, spring training, we're right in the middle of it right now. And the locals are back. Are you excited for baseball season?
I am stoked for baseball season. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I'm so pumped for baseball season. Yankees and Mets, so much to talk about.
Exactly. And today we're going to start with the New York Metropolitans. Why not? Since you said you were a Yankee fan, we'll start with the Mets. And then you're going to have to come back next week when Joey talks about the Yankees, but we'll get to that then. Let's talk about the Mets. The Mets had an incredible season last year under Buck Showalter. You know, obviously it was a quick exit into playoffs, though, unfortunately. They were kind of sliding towards the end of the season. But overall, would you say that it was a productive season for the Mets?
Oh my gosh, there's no doubt about it. And really, the first full season under new owner Steve Cohen, he was the architect of what this Mets team was all about. They wanted to build, they wanted to buy. There's a completely different identity from what they've done in years past. And you look from the old, from the old regime and the Wilpons and everything along those lines, and they would try and buy some players kind of on the clearance rack, right? But Steve Cohen came in, he bought the team, his childhood favorite team. And he said, you know what, we're going to make this team a winner. And granted, he had a 5-year plan. And right now he's in year 2 or 3 of that. And what he has done has been truly remarkable, right? Last year, he brought in Mark Canha. Last year, he brought in Max Scherzer as well. Multiple different pieces that, to try and get this culture back. And, of course, you brought up Buck Showalter, too. He needed a change of culture in that dugout and really in the clubhouse as a whole. And, boy, did he do that. Granted of the quick playoff exit, but despite that, so much to be proud of, so much to build upon. And I think this team is they are becoming one of these top-tier teams, and I can't believe I'm putting them in the same sentence, but like a Red Sox, a Dodgers, a Yankees. And it's really because of what the owner, Steve Cohen, has done. He has decided to invest in this Mets team.
And it's funny because the Super Bowl wasn't too long ago. We're about a month and a half past it. And do you remember the New York Mets are the only professional sports team in all sports who had a commercial in the Super Bowl?
It's truly remarkable to see, though, because you know what? And granted, it aired in the New York area only, but Peter,
millions of people still watched it.
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
Exactly.
And the best part about it, though, is that it just shows that I think it was $7 million for 30 seconds or something along those lines.
Yeah.
The best part is that he cares. And granted, he is worth, billions of dollars. Right, billions of dollars. He didn't care. He wants to invest in this team. And you're seeing it right from that commercial. You're seeing it from the offseason moves that he made. And you saw it even from a season ago. He came in, changed the culture right away.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct about that. We do have a few seconds before we have to go to a quick commercial break, but I do want to bring up Jacob deGrom. He couldn't keep deGrom here. Probably one of the best pitchers in baseball for the last few years. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, when he decided to move on to the Texas Rangers, I think the biggest thing was the injury questions and the injury woes that Jacob deGrom has been going through the last few years, and he simply could not stay healthy. And the Mets needed someone that is capable of getting the job done long term. And I think when you replace Jacob deGrom with a World Series winner in Justin Verlander, I mean, again, granted of the age that Verlander brings, he still brings that experience that is so dynamic. And again, that money aspect from deGrom, I think Steve Cohen made the right move in not bringing him back. He wanted too much money and too much term.
All right. Well, we do have to go to a quick commercial break. So more from Joey Jarzynka and discussing the New York Mets right after this break. Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. And when we talk baseball, time feels like it just flies away. I had to cut off my good friend here, our sports insider Joey Jarzynka, in the last segment. My apologies on that.
That's okay. I'll slow things down a bit.
Exactly.
Sorry about that.
Well, listen, we have to go to commercial. Somebody's got to pay the bills
Absolutely.
around here, right? Exactly. All right, Joey. So we spoke about DeGrom leaving, and you actually said that it was beneficial for the Mets.
Yeah.
That he's not here with the long-term deal that he wanted, and so on and so forth. You spoke about Justin Verlander coming in, and now you have your top two aces getting, pushing that 40-year-old. I believe Verlander's older than 40. Exactly.
Yeah.
Correct. So, very, very interesting that Cohen's putting all his peas in a pod there. Let's talk about other signings that the Mets did, and re-signings, that is. What did you like?
Yeah, I love the fact that Steve Cohen and company went out to go sign David Robertson, and they also brought back Adam Ottavino as well. And granted, there were times when a lot of Mets fans would say, "All right, well, the bridge to Edwin Diaz is kind of non-existent at this point." And that was a little nerve-wracking, because how do you get there? How do you get to Edwin Diaz if your starter does not go beyond 6 innings?
Right.
Exactly. And that's the issue is that how do you get there? How do you try and preserve that lead? And it was really tough. So they brought in David Robertson, who is also pushing past 35 as well. But again, his track record going back to his Yankees days, when he was with the Cubs, when he was with the Phillies last year as well.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
He's really looked great. And then also bringing back Adam Ottavino too. He's that 7th, 8th inning guy. That was absolutely crucial to bring those two guys, or one, back into the fold and another into the fold.
Exactly. And what about field players?
Yeah, field players, they also brought in Tommy Pham to play left field and really to be that utility outfielder role, or to play that utility outfielder role, that is. And, he's going to be battling for that left field spot with Mark Canha. So we'll see what the deal is over there, but also the other field players, too, that we haven't really discussed. The Mets tried to go out and get Carlos Correa, too. We brought that up, and obviously for all of the folks that know, he eventually wound his way back up with Minnesota. San Francisco wanted to sign him. There was some medical issues, so then he said, all right, forget it. We're not going to do anything in terms of a press conference or anything like that. San Francisco said, sorry, not happening. They ripped up the contract because of medical issues. And then the Mets kind of signed him a few days later. That was completely out of left field, no pun intended. And then,
pun intended.
And then, yeah, exactly. and then afterwards, then they found out that, something's wrong with his ankle. Something was wrong with the lower body that they had some medical issues with too. So then they said, all right, forget it. Now he eventually wound back up with the Minnesota Twins, all guaranteed money.
But it leaves a hole.
It does leave a hole at third base. But something that we have gotten to see, though, is that we'll see what happens with Eduardo Escobar.
That's true.
Over at the hot corner. There's also Brett Beatty, one of the top prospects in the system that is potentially trying to make a push to make the opening day roster. But then there's also Ronnie Mauricio, too, who's hit a couple of dingers in spring training, too, that, he's also looking to make a push, because shortstop is right now filled for the next decade with Francisco Lindor.
Exactly. Yeah, and remember, they did re-sign Brendan Nimmo as well.
Yes.
Which was a huge re-signing. Fan favorite, definitely.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
A guy who hustles, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Joey, we have about less than a minute here to go here. What do you feel the New York Mets are going to bring in the 2023 season? Are they going to be as good as last year and fizzle out towards the end and then make a quick exit in the playoffs? They are a little older now. Steve Cohen, as you mentioned, is putting all his peas in the pot. That's the second time I used that. It's win now or not. What do you think?
I definitely believe it is win now, but something that Steve Cohen is trying to do is he is trying to win now, but he's also trying to build the farm system in addition to buying these pieces.
Which is important.
Exactly.
Right.
So he's trying to rebuild his entire farm system, which was pretty much depleted a few years ago. He's got the top prospect in all of baseball and catcher, Francisco Alvarez, who's drawing a lot of comparisons to Mike Piazza, which is fantastic. But the thing is that I do believe that they're going to be it's not going to be an easy out for the Philadelphia Phillies, who are the reigning NL champs. Mm-hmm. And then also, just a couple of years ago, the Atlanta Braves were the World Series champs.
Right.
So they're going to have there's going to be a lot of battling going on. Do I believe that they fizzle out? No. I have them winning the NL East this year and potentially getting to the NLCS.
You heard it here first, folks. Joey Jarzynka, you're going to want to tune in next week when he talks about his beloved New York Yankees. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Peter. Really appreciate it.
See you next week, okay?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancabano. I hope you have a great week, everybody.